You have all been listening to TJ from backstage. What do you think about what she has told us so far?
None of us believe what she's told you so far.
What did she say that was incorrect?
Well, we feel like she was the ringleader of this plot to kill Dean instead of her grandfather. The FBI has told us that they have her on tape saying the effect that she was the one that had been the main person to initiate it.
After the sentencing, Jimmy was beaten up, is that correct?
That's right.
Tell me about that.
For no apparent reason, they just jumped on him and beat him, and he was in a coma for like a week in a hospital for 5 weeks. He's still in rehab. And we have been told that she knew these guys, and it's like too much of a coincidence for it not to be tied in, and it may not be, but with her knowing them, being seen at parties with them, he nearly died.
Jimmy, how have you changed since the beating?
I pretty much stay quiet, and I don't go out very much no more.
You don't go out any much?
I think he's afraid to go anywhere.
Because of the beating?
Right.
Were there other things that have happened to him since?
He was almost electrocuted while working under a house with her and her grandfather in the house and turned the power back on. He had stomach problems and was always in the emergency rooms. He has no more stomach problems.
He hasn't been sick since the day she was arrested.
Do you believe your family ordeal is over?
No.
Why?
The guy that beat him is still out on the streets free. He spent one night in jail and has been out since June. Who knows?
We all feel like we have been punished much more than the people who were guilty of crimes, that we've not been able to lead a normal life. Dean especially has not been able to lead a normal life. He cannot work. I mean, he has not worked since the beating in June.
The harassment, riding by, her family has moved 1.5 miles up the road from where Dean and I live.
For hire plot. Jerry, come on out. Jerry, well, he saved Jimmy's life.
My son's life.
Jerry, how did you get mixed up in all of this? You told us that TJ's grandfather approached you with a proposition.
Yes, he did.
Tell me, are you a relative of the family?
No, I'm not. My brother was married to TJ's sister.
Your brother was married to TJ's sister. Okay. What did the grandfather ask you to do?
Well, he told me he had a proposition for me to make some money by killing Dean, and I didn't believe it at first, but then he showed up, at my house with a gun, so.
All right, and what happened? Did you believe he was telling
that
he meant it?
Then I did. So I went ahead and took the gun and the ammunition, and when he left, I went straight to the police about it.
Why was TJ in on the plot?
Well, he kept telling me that she was, but she never would come to any of the meetings until I finally told him that she was the one that's going to pay for it. I need to talk to her. So she came on the last when they got us.
And when you talked to her, were you convinced she knew about the plot?
Oh, yes.
Were you convinced she wanted Jimmy killed?
Yes.
Did you ask why they wanted to kill Jimmy?
For the insurance money. I asked her, if it was because she just didn't like him or just tired of him, and she said she wanted to better her kids.
Okay.
But
when you went to the FBI, were you afraid? Why did you go to the FBI?
Well, I felt if I didn't do what I did, they would have got somebody besides me, and Dean would be dead.
What was it like